Hello, I'm Kuljit Bhamra. What I'd like to get to in this video is I've heard it said many times from people who are teaching tabla that it must be played properly. Let's have a look at this phrase, tabla must be played properly. What does that mean, properly? My memory of the word properly is when I was a young child sitting in the Gurdwara, for example, or the Sikh temple, and I'd be fidgeting around with my brother, and my mother would say to me, "Sit properly." And what I then did was like, so I don't know. I went, what's properly? Now, when it comes to playing an instrument, yes, there is a technique for getting the sounds out of that instrument. But I think when people talk about tabla and playing it properly, I don't think they're talking about that. I think they're talking about playing in a traditional, classical manner. Now, here's a funny thing. If you go to a music shop and say you wanted to learn to play the guitar, so you go into a shop and you'd see all these guitars. First of all, there wouldn't be a sign on the guitar that said, you can only play this properly. Now, what does that mean, properly? Does it mean, is it flamenco? Is it pop? Is it jazz? Jimi Hendrix used to play the guitar with his teeth. So is that proper? Some people put the guitar on their laps flat down and play it with a bottleneck, in a slidey way. Is that proper? So it's funny how when you buy tablas, it has to be played properly, like traditionally classical way. But there's no room or scope or encouragement for people to play it in perhaps another way, in a way that they would prefer. Now, I have a couple of musician friends in the UK who are very famous. One is a sitar player, and he has a sitar that has a flat back. It's not a domed pumpkin, and it has a shoulder strap, and he has electrified it. And he plays sitar, and he plays amazing music, and I love his music, and many people do. There's also another colleague of mine who plays the sarod. Again, he plays the sarod standing up like a guitarist with a shoulder strap. Now, is that the proper way? Well, here's my opinion, and you can see where I'm going with this. I think that if you're enjoying yourself and you're making music that you enjoy and that even people enjoy, then it doesn't matter if you're playing it the proper way. The tabla itself is already an unusual instrument to play because of the gestures that are required to play it. This takes a bit of time to learn. And if we are over-prescriptive with our students, which I think a lot of us are, the less students we're going to have. And if we say that you have to learn to say the balls first before you play it, then I think you're going to lose 80% of potential students at the front door. So if you're still with me watching this video, you may be wondering what my rambling on is leading to. And you know, I love the tabla drum and I love the sound of the tabla drum. And I know many people who would love to learn to play the tabla and are very keen to learn to play the tabla, but they have been put off by the over-prescriptive nature of teachers. I'm generalizing, but that's what I've seen and that's what they tell me. So what do? I think, in my opinion, we can loosen up a little bit and be less prescriptive about the right way and the proper way of doing things, and that would enable more people to play these beautiful drums. And also it will enable the tabla community to grow worldwide, which is what I want. And I want to hear these sounds being used in all different types of music, jazz, rock, electronic music, and not always played in a proper classical traditional manner. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon.